I took part in the Overwatch stress test weekend. I'm not cool enough to be in the actual beta. A lot of big names have been playing this for months, and I'm just going to get crushed when the game actually releases, but I had a lot of fun, and I wanted to talk about it. Blizzard has been really good lately at making games for casuals, essentially, which is good for me, because I sometimes only have like 20-minute periods where I can commit my concentration fully. I don't want most of that time to be spent being told to get good, or far worse in most cases. Overwatch fills the FPS void neatly now that I have no time or inclination to play Destiny. I never got into Team Fortress 2, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to transition as easily into this game because I just feel they're really similar. I really like how colorful and varied the characters are. And I found myself drawn to the tankier looking characters, which is not usually my style. I was pretty confused at first because I couldn't figure out who had what abilities. I didn't know how to hit the button and get a preview for what everybody could do. So I basically just went by looks and had to figure things out on the fly. I picked Pharah here because she is who I tried in my second game right before it crashed out. One thing I realized very quickly is how helpful it'll be when I eventually figure out what everybody's abilities and limitations are. Pharah's rockets feel like they pack a real punch sometimes, but some characters can just really soak them up. So I need to be careful about what fights I can tank and which ones I have to dodge through. See, like right here, for example, I lay into him pretty hard, but then he just, I don't know, punches me by accident. He probably didn't even know I was there. Let's check it out on the kill cam, actually. Wait, that's from my perspective for some reason. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure that he didn't even realize that I was there and just basically killed me by accident because I assumed that my rockets would do their job. But they didn't.
Acknowledged.
And now I gotta run all the way back. I was pretty unclear what the map's objectives were. At the top of the screen, it says, stop the payload, but the HUD icon says, defend it. I wasn't really sure which to do for one thing, but I also wasn't clear on how to go about doing either one. Most of the fighting seemed contained around it, so I knew it didn't have a health bar or anything, or it would probably just have exploded by accident by now. I figured the safest bet was to just shoot guys and not worry about it until later. My main goal was to figure out who could do what, who I could pick off in one or two shots, who needed to be dodged around, and who I should just totally avoid by myself. You know, one thing I took for granted is dashing or running, because a lot of the characters in this don't have an inborn run or dash, so you don't realize you miss it until you don't have it, especially with the heavier characters. I appreciate the kill cam coming up instantly. Most of the time my deaths in these games are totally avoidable, yet I still walk directly into the line of fire. It is kind of frustrating for the same reason it's useful. I do appreciate that super jump that she's got. But speaking of frustrating, okay, I really feel like this guy should have gone down. I honestly am not sure if I actually did any damage, even just looking at this back, but rockets really do need sort of a splash to them, and when it doesn't really happen the way you expect, it gets pretty frustrating, but I noticed that my super ability came up just here, so coming around this corner, and I mash it, which is awesome, and I do significant amount of damage and kill off old Pigface there, but now I got Reinhardt on my case, slamming me with his hammer, and yeah, just body checks me into the wall. If I had realized that I would be stuck when I used my super, I might have been a little more judicious with it, but I don't know. Hindsight's 20/20, I suppose. Oh, Easter egg back there. Somebody's playing Hearthstone on that monitor. Adorable. One thing that was, among many, that was confusing me is the spawn locations kept changing, which, oh god, which I assumed had to do with the fact that the payload was getting closer, so I presumed that I was just spawning closer and closer to the goal. I was hoping that I would figure out what I was supposed to be doing as the match sort of progressed on, but I never really did. And there's Angel Lady. Hi, Angel Lady.
I will not waste this
zapping me with her healing rays, which is very considerate, but of course I'm nowhere near anybody, so it's ultimately pointless. Yeah, again. Oh, yeah. So I got taken out and surprise revive. Now watch this. Boom. I don't think I even directly hit that character, and she just crumpled like a house of cards. So when that happens, I feel like a total badass, and I feel super powerful. But then, you know, I come down here, I take a couple pot shots with these guys. I'm trying to square off with the pig guy, and yeah, he just smashes me in the face with his gun that just shoots hot nails or whatever. And yeah, that's not fun. Not fun for me.
Back
Nuts.
online.
Oh yeah, that's when I actually noticed Hearthstone. But yeah, I'm feeling like this run is gonna start getting familiar, so I decided to deke around and see if I can find some sort of goal. See if I can at least push back these guys. I just got Widow Vision, fortunately. Now I know that's a thing. Big spiky ball comes for me. I managed to avoid it, kills my healer. That's not good. Reinhardt goes charging down the hallway. That's also not good. When he charges into the wall, as I later discovered, he gets stunned for a quick second. But he moves the quickest he will ever move during that time. And you can use it to your advantage sometimes to really surprise people. So we lost this match. Again, I wasn't sure what we did right or wrong, but I got a better feel for the characters at least. And I like the commendation system right at the end. I'm not sure if it gives you anything extra, but I'm a fan of any system that lets you congratulate good playing, even if it's not someone on your team. I thought I'd take a risk and play as another character type that I wouldn't usually go for, a support type character. I noticed right off the bat I wouldn't be racking up many kills, but I could probably cause a lot of aggravation for the opposing team, which I'm always a fan of. I mean, I'm gonna level with you here. I'm pretty good at games, but I'm not super good at competitive games because I don't have the time in my life to spend sitting in front of the computer or whatever, figuring out every single nuance and memorizing every map and memorizing team-up combinations. Sometimes the best I can do is just kill a guy or two. Sometimes the best I can do is just buff or heal somebody. And that's just gonna have to be my contribution because I am definitely not gonna be MVP, and I'm definitely not going to the MLG, despite what I said earlier. Pretty quickly I discovered how useful the ice wall could be to split up groups or cut off escapes. This is the sort of game that's best played sort of spastically, with lots of jerky, unpredictable movements. When you drop a wall somewhere there wasn't one a second ago, you can practically see the confusion on the characters' faces. I know I said I wasn't planning on getting a lot of kills, but then I got a nice triple kill after ice walling. That's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's fine. I noticed I still had a lot of trouble dealing with tank characters, but that's clearly what this freeze blast is for buying time until a stronger character can find me and save me! On this map I was able to parse the objective a little bit better. You just have to sit on the objective until you reach 100%, and then you win, which I remember from my Splatoon days. I realized I had to be careful with my walls to make sure I was blocking my opponents from attacking and not my teammates. And it's really just a matter of watching the flow and quickly deciding who is about to get the upper hand. Suspending the crossfire for a few seconds can afford some valuable thinking time to find a new vantage point. It blocks vision as much as bullets, so ideally you take the opportunity to find new cover, if nothing else. Then the game broke, which I suppose is the point of doing a stress test. I probably would have gotten MVP for that sick triple kill, but at least I have video proof that I'm not totally hopeless at this game. I had a lot of fun playing this, and I know that Blizzard gets a lot of criticism nowadays for making games that are quick and easy to play, but difficult to master. But that sort of game is right in my wheelhouse, and nobody got on the mic and called me abortion waste for not being amazing in a game that isn't even out yet, so that's nice too. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll be posting a second video soon, as you better believe I kept playing this despite the game getting dropped. I'll see you next time.